I'd like to point out that there is no question that the number one issue facing India, Japan, Australia, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia is China. So we have to sort out the issue of how China deals with the rest of us, with with ASEAN, with India, and frankly, that is definitely front and center. And I can tell you, Prime Minister Modi is visiting Japan first. That cannot be lost on anyone. No, he's not visiting Japan after going to China. He is coming to China after visiting Japan. In a sense, this reminds me of what my habit has been, which is to visit Beijing from Taipei. I mean, that's basically to show that we are independent as a country. So the point is that, Abhishek, Japan is a very important partner of India. I'm told that the Japanese chip makers are now going to shift from China to India. More and more Japanese manufacturers are looking at India. The immense success of Suzuki has spurred other Japanese to come. And frankly, the Koreans initially beat them to it, but now the Japanese are rapidly catching up with the Koreans. So I would say this makes perfect sense. And both Prime Minister Ishiba and Prime Minister Modi have a shared interest in ensuring that there are guardrails where Chinese aggression is contained and, in fact, reversed, and reversed in a spirit of friendship. And may I say that the Prime Minister, as I said, he visited Japan first, and more importantly, he has met the two previous Prime Ministers of Japan. Now, in Japan, the reality situation is elders are revered, and the two previous prime ministers have immense influence in the ruling party. So this indicates Prime Minister Modi, frankly, nobody needs to teach him any geopolitics. He's a master of geopolitics on his own. Look, I can tell you that the Japanese have just pulled back their trade delegation from a US visit because they said, we are not convinced of the US sincerity in working out an honorable settlement. And that is the key word, honorable. The Japanese have a long history, a long tradition, and they're very, very, as a country, have immense respect for other countries with a long tradition, like India, but they have also an immense amount of self-respect, as we do in India. And from that point of view, they see in Prime Minister Modi a leader with immense self-respect and immense respect for the people of his country and for the people of Japan. Don't forget, Japan is one of the earliest countries that Prime Minister Modi visited when he became Prime Minister. And Japan has always been very close to his heart. And I think, if I remember correctly, he has visited Japan even when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat. He visited there. And as a consequence, the relationship between Prime Minister Modi and Japan is very close, especially with the legendary Shinzo Abe, who was mysteriously killed in a murder that is, I would call it a murder that has not been explained yet. So the reality situation is Prime Minister Modi has shown his respect for the people of Japan by coming here. He's shown his respect for the ruling party by meeting the former prime ministers. And if I may say so, that warmth, that self-respect, that deep reverence for tradition, that deep reverence for history is a shared asset that the Indian and the Japanese people have, and that Prime Minister Modi shares shared with Shinzo Abe, and now with Prime Minister Ishiba.